Hi, so today I have the lovely Suzy Sanders from Admin Angels, one of my best online buddies, I think. I've kind of met you through the online world, and I love what you're doing, and I love kind of where you've come since we first met. So, just very briefly, do you want to let the guys know what you do right now?
Yes, thank you. What a lovely introduction. Well, yes, so I run a virtual assistant business at the moment. We've been trading for about 2 years. And as part of that, I've recently created an academy arm of the VA business, which is helping others if they wanted to become virtual assistants. So I kind of skipped over what a virtual assistant actually is. So just very briefly, it's we provide admin, PA and marketing support to small businesses, freelancers, entrepreneurs who don't necessarily want to or don't have the capacity or resource to recruit directly. So we're just kind of that interim support for them. So that's kind of what we do.
Yeah, and I think you kind of fit into that mold of, our generation. Some of these jobs didn't really exist, did they? So it's a little bit ago, we're really old, aren't we?
Hey! No, you're absolutely right, because I think when I was at school, and it was very much the school of thought was you get pass your exams, go to university, get a job. That was the kind of that was what you did, and I think actually the world's an amazing place right now, and there's so many options and so many different ways of doing things, and I think it's more finding what works for you than actually the traditional getting a job and working at it till you retire.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things that I say a lot to the students that I work with and that I see is that they are so lucky at the moment with the job titles and the careers that are out there. You don't have to just either work in an office. It was banking, insurance, you were a tele salesperson or a window salesman. There was a lot less opportunities, but you didn't kind of grow up wanting to be a VA, did you? So
no, I only came across the concept about 3 years ago.
And now you've turned it into a huge business. So kind of from school to where you are now, what's your journey been like?
Okay, well, I didn't really like school very much. I was average student. I did okay. I didn't really like the pressure of exams very much. I found, I didn't find the whole exam scenario very, very easy. But I did okay, and I left school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I did go to college. I started my A-levels. My heart wasn't in it, so I kind of backed away from that before I got kicked out. And I ended up going back to college to study photography, because I really genuinely did not know what I wanted to do. And I always enjoyed photography. That was something that kind of got a bit of a fire in my belly. So I thought, well, let's, while I'm figuring out what to do with my life, let's go and do that. So I did that. I really enjoyed that. And around that time I got a job in a pub. I was just working behind the bar, pulling pints, and I actually really loved it. We had a great team. We had a ball. We really did. We worked hard, we played hard, and it was very much like a little family unit that we had. So we used to go out a lot, and then from that, one of the managers that I worked with, he actually left to go to another pub company, and he said to me, would I want to go with him? And I was like, well, okay. I was young and carefree at the time, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? So I moved down to South London with him, and I think he must have seen something in me that I wasn't aware of. So I went to, and I was his duty manager, and it was quite an old school pub. It was quite a traditional company, so I had my work cut out. Being a young woman, I think I was very much in the minority, and I saw that as a challenge. I was like, right, let's get on with it. And I worked there for a while. I did a little bit of relief managing. I got my license. I think the day that I left that, one of the directors actually said to me, when you first arrived, we were like, what's going on? Like, who is this person? What is she doing here? And I was really proud, because he said, you proved us wrong. And they invested in me, and they helped me, and they guided me. And I left because I felt like I needed to get a proper job. a lot of my friends at the time were kind of got their office jobs and they'd just finished uni, and I felt like I needed to move away from this kind of, it was long hours in the pub, you know, you were up to get the beer in at 6 and you were closing up at midnight gone. So it was so I wanted a bit more serious proper job. So I moved back to my hometown and I got my first office job, which was telesales. And
everybody's done a bit of telesales, haven't they?
I know. Do you know what? I hated it. I really hated it. But I learned a lot. And that enabled me to then go on and get another job. And I got a job. Then my next job from there was in a marketing department for a small tech firm. And the marketing department was me and the marketing manager, so it was quite small. And I realised then that actually I really loved working for small companies, because you got to get involved with so many different things, and because it was such a small team, you get to roll your sleeves up and get your hands dirty and try out lots of different. And I think I was keen to do that. I wanted to learn and get different experiences, because I still didn't really know what I wanted to do. I felt like I was just kind of flowing from one job to another without any real clear direction. And so then I felt like I wanted to get a little bit more money. You know, I'd been where I was for a while, so I started to look around. And then my next job, I went to work for Reed Specialist Recruitment, and I took a job there as executive assistant to the MD, so his PA. And again, I kind of felt like that wasn't really what I set out to do, but that's kind of where I ended up. And I really loved that. I realised that I'd got actually quite a lot of my personality and kind of natural traits that I had, just everything. It wasn't easy, but I think naturally I'd got the right traits to make a go of it. And I was there for many years, and I really enjoyed that. And I moved around, worked for different directors. So I got a good view of kind of the operational side of business, and then moved more into the kind of the support side, so HR and internal recruitment, things like that, supporting the director. And then when I had my little boy in 2015, I went back to work, and I knew that I wasn't the same person.
Yeah.
And actually I wasn't fulfilled. And again, I still didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I felt, if I got to be, I shouldn't admit that, should I?
And you know what's really great is there is going to be so many kids watching this kind of thinking, I don't know what I want to do. And from a really early age, all we ask these kids is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And sometimes even when they're grown up, they still don't know what they want to do. And it's really great to see that even as adults, sometimes that decision isn't made yet.
No, and I think it's funny because I think it's an awful lot of pressure to put on a young person to say, oh, what do you want to do? And actually most of the most successful and interesting and incredible people I know still don't really know. They're still, you know, to them, they look at their career and their life, it's a constant learning. You're not going to suddenly arrive. And some of the most successful and interesting people I know and I've come across still don't know what they want to do. You know, they're just trying what they can, and getting that experience.
And this is the thing, that there is so many opportunities out there that when you start to kind of come to that decision where you want to know what you want to do, or you're going to pick a career, some of the most amazing jobs haven't even been created yet.
Oh, what a wonderful thought.
You know, and when I was at school, Facebook hadn't been invented, because I'm that old. You know, and so kind of social media marketing experts, why would you have one of them when social media doesn't exist? So, you know, all of these online coaches, they wouldn't have existed. You know, it was, you worked in your area, you worked in your local town, and you know, you met the people that worked for the same company as you. And as exciting as your network got was maybe other companies that worked with your company and things like that. That was kind of the network. Whereas now, my network reaches out to Australia and America, and you know, that's the dream, isn't it? And you know, so who knows what's next? The generation that are watching this video are going to be creating the jobs of the future. Where are they going to take us? I just think that's so exciting.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I remember when we got email, I was at upper school. I remember we had one computer in the library, and you know, you could go in and there was on a rota system where you could check your emails and stuff. And now it's like I run my business from my phone. Like I would have had no idea then, you know, and how fast technology is evolving as well.
Yeah,
it really is incredible.
Yeah. So where did you go after that then?
So that's where, at the point that I decided to set up my own business, because I wasn't fulfilled, I wasn't happy. I wanted to work, I had to work, and you know, if I was going to be away from my little boy, I wanted to be doing something that actually was getting some level of satisfaction from. So that's when I started exploring into virtual assistants, what they did, how it worked, and yeah, I took my first client on in October 2015, and built the business up for a few months around life, family, keeping my job, and then I eventually went full-time self-employed early 2016.
Yeah, I remember your first day of kind of leaving that job, and just being you, and how exciting that was for you.
Oh, exciting, but absolutely terrifying. And all the things that I worried about then, I mean, it's like most things in life, isn't it? All the things that I was anxious about or was worried about didn't matter. It all kind of just worked. It just kind of works itself out. If you're taking action and you kind of got a little bit of faith, it does work out.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, isn't it? That, you know, life doesn't just happen to you. You know, it throws you some curveballs, and it puts you in positions that you're not used to, but you have control in how you react to those situations, and you can take these curveballs as worries me, be the victim and dwell on it, or you can take it as a learning opportunity and make something out of it. And I think that's what I love about your story is, you know, you are in a place where lots of girls, and some of the lads will be at some point, well, becoming a parent changes how you view your career. And instead of just kind of going back to work and being miserable and hating your job and then being a kind of unfulfilled parent because you're unhappy at work as well, you decided to do something about it. And I think that's really exciting, and it really shows people kind of what is out there and what's available to them. So your journey has kind of taught you loads. These guys watching are about to embark on their journey. They're taking their first step into the career world. So what piece of advice would you give them from what you've learned?
One piece. That's tough. Well, I think
favorite piece then.
Okay, well, I think actually, I think those things that do get a fire in your belly, I suppose, follow your heart, because if you get a fire in your belly about something, there's probably a good reason for that, and you should definitely explore that. But I think probably two big pieces of advice for me were: comparison is the thief of joy. You know, if you're watching what other people are doing and comparing yourself, just don't, because everybody is on their own separate journey. So just don't bother yourself with that. And actually, fear is always going to show up. No matter what you're doing, there's always going to be an element of risk or fear or worry. And I think actually some of the greatest advice I was given was kind of just get comfortable with that. And like you say so perfectly, don't automatically think it's a bad thing, and don't, oh no, I'm scared, I can't do it. There's opportunities for you to grow and learn. If you're feeling fearful about something, it's probably because it is a bit scary, but you've got to go for it, because that's where you do learn, and that's where you grow, and that's where you pick up new skills and meet new people. And so don't look at fear as a bad thing. I think
yeah, because we're frightened of everything new, aren't we?
Gosh, yeah, absolutely.
Driving test, taking exams, you know, but we assume that fear is a wall, and it's going to stop us going any further. But it's not. It's just a feeling we take with us, isn't it? It's just one more thing that's part of the package as we go on that journey. And if you can take fear and use it as a companion instead of as a wall,
embrace it.
Yeah, and it's.
Sorry, I was going to say it's a perfectly natural thing as well. Everybody in the world has fear, regardless of how successful they seem to be or what they're doing. Everybody has fear, and I think it's natural. It's an instinct, isn't it? It's something that is designed to keep us safe. So you're never going to escape it, so you might as well just make friends and enjoy the journey.
And I'm going to use that next time you tell me you're frightened of doing something. I'm going to throw that piece of advice back at you.
do because it is something I have to remind myself, because the more you kind of go down a path, and as we were talking recently, the kind of the more you achieve or the different things you do, that fear is still there, but sometimes it can feel bigger because you're pushing yourself so far, that it does feel bigger. So yeah, like you're never going to arrive. It's something that you've just got to learn to embrace and look at differently, I think.
Yeah, I love that. This could be amazing advice, and I know there's going to be so many kids watching this, and they're going to resonate with you and what your journey's been like and what you've done. And thank you so much for spending the time with me today, and for giving up part of your day to kind of share your advice. I know it's really important to a lot of the kids that are watching.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. It's great to be able to share what we're about, and it's always lovely to talk to you as well. So thank you.